Alright, y'all. Didn't. Sorry, I'm a little late. It's about to be 10 and I'm about to. Welcome to the best death battle. Which is going to be the show where I actually talk about or find out who. Oh my god. I messed it up. Hello, and welcome to the Best Death Battle, the show where I find out which matchups in this 2026 season is going to be the best Death Battle matchup. Now, I guess it's about time we talk about Cell vs. Sonic, the Death Battle version. Of course, in my OG reacts video, I talked about the. Oh wait, who actually is? Yep. Hey, Cheetah, what's up? Oh no, not you, breifs. Breifs. Yeah, I've been looking all over you, bro. But it seems I kind of need your help with something like, whoa, is this so freaking breif? Oh my god, breifs. Look, oh my god, breifs. Do you not realize I'm trying to do a reaction and I'm blinking here? Dude, oh wait a minute, this is the actual Death Battle of Sonic. Huh. I didn't think Death Battle would actually do one. That's because this matchup was done before. Or what? Where? Fan battle. Oh yeah. You mean that other versus show where these dudes do the audio and and sometimes animation stuff on in the show by taking the cues from. Well, yeah, but they kind of want to change that. But anyway, since I actually reacted to this one, I'm actually going to react to the Cell vs. Mouse. Oh yeah, you didn't even introduce me. Hello, guys. I'm actually breifs. I'm actually the co-host of the upcoming UCBL episode 2. Okay. I'm sorry. Man, breifs, you just really need to stop doing this, man. Okay, as he said, he's actually my co-host for the second episode, which is the UCBL, which is Sony vs. Orchid, which is currently in production at the time of recording this video. Yeah. But you probably will learn a little bit about him. Like, I don't know, maybe in the actual episode itself, you'll probably see what we're talking. Oh, come on. I'm not that bad of a character. Maybe I'm not that bad of a character, but we're getting on just fine. Are we getting on? Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, maybe so, but okay. But I guess we're gonna die. Okay, so, wait, yeah. And we're not gonna really take a lot of people's time, though. Alright. Yeah. Alright. So I guess we just rather just get to it. Okay, but hold on. This is what we're gonna be doing. Just to clear out the room. We're gonna be comparing this Death Battle to the fan battle. And we're gonna see how they actually differ. Okay? And we'll see whether it's good enough to place higher in the ranking, if it's enough to beat. Now, as for Yuki people. So, without further ado, let's get started on this whole Cell vs. Metal Sonic Death Battle edition. That is. Yes. Yeah, let's go. Breathe, be quiet. All right. And 3, 2, 1, go. Man, this thing is kind of a bit off sync out here.
With Hobby Android is truly superior. And boobs. Dropping all his and skills. Find out who The Mars came to attack. No one who seen
This thing just gonna big. Oh man, he is really is being a jerk about it.
He's been behind.
Creature driven Apex Predator, the ultimate life form.
The Namekian Piccolo went to investigate this manslayer and discovered that it was
I remember.
intelligent. Its tail could
Piccolo
unravel
and
to absorb its
investigating
hapless
this guy.
victims and add their energy to its wretched gestalt.
But the nightmare was only just beginning,
crap.
because for its last trick, somehow this freak of
Oh,
nature
man.
knew
Oh,
the
man.
Kamehameha.
Yeah.
The mystery
Yeah,
of this creature's
you saw
origin
it, yeah.
was decades
Everybody
in the
saw it
making.
and I saw it.
Years
This
ago,
guy got
the world
practice
was
that.
terrorized
They
by the
moved.
most
He
advanced
copied that move from
paramilitary
Uncle
organization
Goku.
in history, the Red Ribbon Army.
You know, like
Until
the
they
beat the
got
pop
rocked
and
by this little
whatnot.
kung fu gremlin.
Deathbattle
Son
products like
Goku.
Dragon Ball,
But Red Ribbon's
primarily
dream of
canon,
revenge
Mega,
lived on within their head scientist, Dr. Giro.
Hiding away in his spooky cave
Oh, yeah, that
laboratory,
guy.
Giro would go to
Who's
work
that guy
studying the
being
Z
beat
fighters from
on there?
afar, learning
He's a
everything
white
there
suit
was to
Giro.
know about him.
And building
Okay,
a
yeah.
series of androids that would destroy his spiky-haired nemesis once and for all.
He made a ton of them. Infinite energy androids, key-absorbing androids, trucker head androids, and even
Cell Man, Dragon Ball,
Ginger androids.
However, none of Giro's creations were capable of matching that drive to improve that Goku and his fellow martial artists possessed.
Luckily, he had one more android left. A cute little booger so complex he'd take years after Giro's death to complete. Its name was Cell.
Born from a single
Yeah,
cell,
that guy.
get it? This android possessed
Created
the
by
genetic
Dr.
information
Bro.
of all the greatest
Fire
warriors
android,
that had battled on
75
Earth,
DNA
and
composition,
when
like
fully
saying
evolved,
Namekian
would
creature,
become
Reverend Army.
unstoppable.
Luckily,
And
anoint
with
draw,
their DNA, Cell
CE
absorbed
tech
all
comes
their
the
powers
front.
and techniques too.
Yeah.
Common among all
He's
of
the
them is the
mascot of
power to
Deathbattle
manipulate
Artemis,
ki,
by the
or
way.
the energy that exists in all living things,
Wait.
and weaponize it to
This is
fire
the-
energy
oh,
blasts,
so
fly
this
at
is the
faster than light
episode
speeds,
where
move things with
Deathbattle is
telekinesis,
going
and
to
create
take
force
us
fields.
above
From the
his last
humans, Krill
animation.
and NTN,
He's
Cell knows the
voicing it today,
multiform
too, as well.
technique, Destructo Disc, and the Tri-Beam, his extra special favorite.
Wait, if we're gonna do
Weird, I'm not seeing Jiangsu on this list.
so-
Sorry,
if
bud.
we're gonna do a match with
Chelsea
something,
human?
you think we're gonna
Okay.
Well,
Cell can fire the Death Beam,
Now,
as well
there
as
is a
breathe in
similar
and travel
Street
through the vacuum
Fighter.
of
There's somebody in
space
Street
with the
Fighter
alien
that's very
genes of
similar
Frieza
to-
and his
to
father.
Wait,
And because he's got
Difference is
Piccolo's
he copied
DNA,
people
Cell
off
can
of
regenerate
Dragon Ball.
humongous damage to his body and
Yeah,
cost
but
him some keys.
Yes,
Cell
Street
has
Fighter
survived
copies
having
every
half
fighter
his
from
body
multiple Street
vaporized multiple times,
You
and
mean
cannot
suck.
be destroyed
Yeah.
unless the small cluster of cells at the core of his being is
that
eradicated.
Should that little bugger survive, Cell will always return, even stronger than before, because of the Saiyan DNA he got from Goku and Vegeta. Definitely the cream of the genetic crop.
Sure, he can perfectly replicate
sure.
attacks like the Gallic
Yeah.
Gun, Spirit Bomb, and
Human
of course
manipulation,
Kamehameha,
flight
as well as
short,
teleport by
short,
locking
scene,
onto a
power,
living
making
being's key
information.
signature.
But the
Yada,
best
yada,
part
yada.
of being
They
a
have no
Saiyan is
big
how much
brains, special
crazy
being, whatever.
stronger they get every time
You already
they
know all
almost
this
die.
stuff.
They can even evolve to become
See,
orders of
no.
magnitude stronger in the midst of battle.
Yeah.
Combine that with Cell's healing factor, and he's effectively the ultimate warrior.
Like a perpetual shonen motion machine.
Driven by a biological imperative, Cell wanted nothing more than to devour Giro's previous androids,
come on.
17 and 18.
Yeah,
believing
that
it would
is
make
true.
him perfect.
It is.
Only one problem. The Cell we know was born in the future, and both 17 and 18 had been destroyed.
Yeah, 'cause
so he
it's
murdered
like I was
Trunks
kind of
and went
born
back
in an
in
alternate
time.
timeline. Huh.
Trunks. Well, not
Oh, yeah,
future
you-
Trunks,
yeah,
but
you
another
meant-
future Trunks.
yeah, you said
Very
you were some
complicated.
cat
There's
gun.
like 5 timelines.
gun.
As Cell defeated and absorbed the
Freaking
androids,
goat
he evolved.
Yeah.
Not getting bigger, but
Yeah,
changing
the
his
Marvel
personality
State,
and developing a lust
Perfect,
for battle.
He became less creepy bug serial killer and more, well, Saiyan. After exploiting that
This
very
don't sound
Saiyan
Max,
arrogance
but-
and warrior's pride,
Hopefully-
Cell finally became
Well,
perfect.
hopefully in
And
the second
easily
season,
dominated
he gets
Trunks
the
and Vegeta,
Return
the
of
latter of whom
Frieza
had
rating or
decades of
something.
battle experience under his belt.
Perfect
true one,
Cell's
not-
power was off the
that
charts.
teenage
He could
stuff,
threaten the
like-
whole Earth just by powering up. A full power Kamehameha, he was even capable of destroying our entire solar system.
While the vast majority of our solar
yeah.
system's mass is located in the sun, this
I'll be
still
spoiling
means that
too much
Cell's
about
Keywave
that,
would have
so,
to reach
yeah, you're gonna have to look
2.8
at the
billion
episode.
miles to eradicate every planet.
But Wiz,
Yeah,
maybe
wow.
he was just exaggerating.
What a-
No,
Brilliant.
likely. Cell's claim
Yeah,
has been
he's
backed
pretty
up in
much
multiple
as fast
guidebooks
on that
and
solar
even
system
demonstrated
level.
outright in the video
What?
games.
Cell's even stronger in the anime. action.
wait,
Considering
who's
the
he
time
going up
Frieza blew up
against?
Namek, in the anime, the explosion
Yeah.
was literally
also
hundreds of
survived the
light
same
years
blast
wide
of the toy
and lit up the
characters like
friggin'
Arcane
galaxy.
Black
And
Bulls
Cell was
and
far
everything.
stronger than Frieza was at that point in time.
Hell, the Namekians could sense him all the way from a different galaxy and thought
That
he might
problem
be a
is
threat
no
to
one
the
even
whole
cares
universe.
about that
He's also
guy.
incredibly
Highly
fast, capable of blitzing even
Okay,
the
destroying
strongest
solar
sea
system,
fighters at the
taking
time.
construct
Goku
this
flew
Final
from
Fantasy
Grand Kai's
Final
planet to
Flash
heaven
generation
all the way to
struck
hell,
several
hundreds of
Green
billions of
Bean
light
Guards,
years
the
in
big old video
half a
from
minute.
Goku briefly.
That was in
He's headed with the
Yeah,
online
that's cool,
Hercule
but how about the power to
Great.
squeeze Mini Cell Juniors out of you?
But yeah, Hercule sucks,
Heard
by the
that
way.
key
I don't even know how they
call
can
it
count that.
The Kegel.
Perfect Cell was
I don't know,
entirely
man.
without peer
That
and
is
no
described
longer
as the
wedded
size
to
of the
Zhou's
universe.
petty
That is
grudge,
used by the
decided to
character.
prove it
Yada,
with
yada,
a
yada. We already know that.
The Cell Games! And if Goku couldn't even beat him, what hope did anyone else have? Vegeta couldn't even handle a Cell Jr.
Their last hope was Goku's own son.
Oh yeah,
Cell
Gohan.
arrogantly let him power up. Gohan
Yep.
unleashed his rage, pushed the bug monster to his absolute limits, and
Yeah,
beat
right
him.
before-
Wow, Cell,
Yep.
you really are related to Vegeta, aren't
Even
you?
Lord
In
Overlord
truth,
always
Cell
discussed
was
this
a
about
victim
Father
of his
handling
own
things to
success.
his sons.
The same
so
Saiyan
yeah,
genes that made him
you
all
understand that
powerful
these things
also
is a
sowed
man
the
too,
seeds
so.
of his defeat.
He got
Now
so
probably
bad
one of
he
the
even
best
blew
fighters we've
himself
ever
up.
seen in our
Maybe he
lives.
does
So-
have some Chaozu in him
Nice.
after all.
Even that wasn't enough to totally put him down, and he came back with the same
the
Super
Boo
Saiyan power-up
Soccer
that Gohan
you know.
had just unlocked.
Feel the boom soccer when it's
Perfect
protected.
Cell. Now with
His
more
per-
lightning.
potential
Battle for the
is,
ages. Cell put the
is,
entire weight of his
potential
biological
right now,
programming against one lone
Well, he
Saiyan
did
and went the
potential back
distance.
in.
But in the end,
Super-
it still
superhero,
wasn't enough.
so-
No matter how brilliantly Dr. Gero copied the Z-Fighters,
Yeah.
he still couldn't quite
Yeah,
figure
that's
out their knack for
superhero
going
timeline.
beyond.
What can be destroyed
was
can
just-
always
Cell was
be
trying to
rebuilt.
fight
All
for
it
one
takes to
and-
recreate the most
beat
fearsome
beast
warrior in
now.
the universe
Yeah.
is one single Cell.
Hey, real quick, did you know Deathbattle launched our own tabletop gaming channel? It's called The Nightly Brew.
Hold on.
We're doing Dungeons and Dragons.
We're
Blood on
getting
the
paid
Clock.
to eat the booty sponsors like this. Is you, but you guys can pretty much donate to PayPal and our Cash App, by the way, to keep this show going. Other than that, we're probably gonna skip this. Just hang on for a second, right in it, and no, okay, and shoot, doing it. Alright, there you go.
Time and again, the world and its cuddly forest critters were threatened by the evil and oval Dr. Ivo Eggman
Didn't he
robot.
fight
And
Death
time
Battle
and
once
again, that
already?
same world,
Yep,
those
lost
same critters
twice.
were saved by
He went
Sonic
against
the
one, he
Hedgehog.
lost the
No
egg.
matter how many robotic
Eggman-
bandits the good doctor threw in
Eggman-
his blue spiky
Eggman lost
nemesis,
his bout.
his schemes
Oh, you
were
said-
always
you
6
said-
spin jumps to the glowing
bout.
weak spot away
Death
from
Battle
getting
probably said
cracked
something
and
that
scrambled.
like
But
Sonic
it wouldn't be
McKinnon,
over
like, he's
easy
got
for
guns and
Eggman.
like that.
If he couldn't defeat the Blue Blur, he would make his own. Metal Sonic.
Well, 0 points on creativity for
He's
that name,
awesome.
but goddamn, he
He's like
does
a
look
fourth
metal
appearance,
as hell.
They say imitation is the sincerest
Yep.
form of flattery, so
Right.
Eggman built
Eggman
metal
himself.
with more than enough blast processing
3,
to match
2,
his
1, 6, 6.
prototype.
Metal can zoom around at massively hypersonic speeds.
AI custom
Better
tech,
to fly to nearby planets in seconds.
He's tougher than Eggman's standard equipment, some of which can survive black holes.
Metal can use
Well,
all of Sonic's power-ups,
I'll tell you
and
when
he
y'all
can
say
replicate
get
his
stumped.
classic spin
Get stumped,
dash and
stumped,
light-speed
and
attack.
then-
He's got moves of his own.
He can attack with
Eggman
energy
Bowser
blast, fire a
already.
chest laser, surround himself in an electric aura, or an
Even
impenetrable
out
force
speed.
field.
By overloading his circuitry with
he
energy,
does high.
Metal can act to V maximum overdrive, quadrupling his acceleration and obliterating anything in his path, at the risk of self-destructing.
You'd think all that'd be enough to turn the rodent into roadkill, but it only took one showdown on Stardust Speedway to send Metal to the scrap heap.
On paper, Metal should be able to outmatch Sonic in
even know
every
that
way,
was Sonic's
and yet
first
he
fight.
doesn't. For some reason, Eggman wasn't
Well,
able to
Sonic's rival
capture
was
that
always
network
Shadow.
quality that makes Sonic the fastest thing alive. Metal's
That's-
defeats at the hands of
that's
Sonic and his friends sharpened his AI into a seething hatred of his rival and a burning desire to prove himself superior.
Yeah, well, when you're getting your supersized red ass handed to you by Charming B, you know something's gone horribly wrong.
Metal's defeats gave him an existential crisis. If he was created to surpass Sonic and couldn't even manage that, what was he? Why should he exist?
Never one to admit defeat, Eggman took Metal back to the drawing board and birthed him anew. You.
This Neo Metal
Oh,
Sonic
that's
was
when he got
above
copy
all,
ability.
far smarter.
Yeah, I remember.
Especially after he copied Eggman's intelligence and took over his empire. And we mean literally
wonder why they
copy.
got
If
this
Metal
master
started as
piece of
Sonic's
this to copy
copycat,
ability.
why not hunt all of his furry
Assassin's
friends
Creed
down and
Fighter
copy
makes
them
every
too?
copy.
Neo Metal Sonic is equipped with scanners in his
Kakashi,
optic
yeah.
receptors that can copy
Well,
a
I spent
person's
that so much access
biodata,
ways to
giving him the
maximum
ability
time,
to
respark,
recreate
copycat,
all of their
yes,
abilities
control, all
in
of that.
seconds.
Power up,
Like
all
the
of that.
Sonic
Yeah.
Boom, Knuckles' hammer
don't even
punch,
have to read
Tails'
all of this
magical
stuff.
swiveling
You don't even know
asshole,
some of all
and Big's
these.
ability to suck
Yeah,
at
what's he-
fishing.
Metal isn't just
Yeah.
learning their moves,
Those-
he can
those
replicate more
specific, like,
esoteric
they
powers
become
like
metal
silver
copy,
psychokinesis,
darkness,
manufacture
metal,
Rouge's mechanical
ultimate metal,
back guards, or
copy-
alter his
copy
very
metal fits all
biology
at
to
once.
copy Espio's chameleon invisibility. It's worth mentioning that
all at
biological
once,
data is a real scientific term
he
and
actually
can
could
refer to
copy
molecular
DNA
structures
of
like
all
the genome sequence
all
within
the-
a
all the-
living
all the
organism's
science.
DNA.
Yeah, his
Can
copying
also
is
do
so
it in another
busted,
universe.
it doesn't really matter that he's a
Different,
robot
but
made
yeah.
of metal. If you can
I
do
mean,
it, so can he.
and also
Probably
it's
help
very
that he can
funny idea
shapeshift
if you
and
was to
regenerate
go
his
get
whole body
somebody
from a
like
puddle.
he has
Likely
metal
by copying one of the
overboard.
mightiest
He can
beings
go
on the
get
planet,
somebody like
the god
Seth
of
Rollins and
destruction,
save the
Chaos.
gods.
Not the only
Wait.
chaos he's encountered.
By scanning the
That
ultimate
same
life form,
one
Shadow the
angel
Hedgehog,
Final
he
Fantasy.
gained his ability to
He's
manipulate
been a
some of the
menace
most
to
powerful
Sonic,
artifacts
his
in the
friend,
universe.
because of his-
You mean
Yeah,
the
that's
Chaos
the one.
Emeralds?
Yes, the emeralds
Oh,
contain
no,
an
dude.
infinite wellspring
Not
of
the guy
mystical
with
power
this-
and life
Yeah,
energy.
the guy
With
with
them,
the
Metal can
supernova.
perform Shadow's chaos control. He can teleport,
Oh,
warp,
yeah.
and distort space, boost his
I
speed,
really
and
want you to
stop
get-
time.
No
And
promise.
either the Chaos Emeralds or Master Emerald, he
man.
can transform into Super
Metal
Neo
Sonic
Metal
Kai, Giga Metal
Completely
Sonic, Neo Metal
invulnerable
Sonic.
and completely
Metal
golden.
Overlord, Master
Super Neo
Overlord,
Metal
Super
Sonic
Neo
can
Metal
move at
Sonic.
faster than light speeds and has the power
Yeah,
to move
you see
continents.
Neo
The
Metal
emeralds
guy
are
got crushed.
inconceivably powerful. They've
Sonic
been used to
speed,
fuel
Sigma,
Eggman's Death Egg,
Sega
which could
lore,
obliterate star
Guidelines,
systems.
On
Metal
their own,
Fantasy
they can
One.
even create and
Super
destroy whole
Chaos
universes.
Emeralds,
Other super
Master-
characters like Sonic have battled
Oh,
and defeated
dear.
beings like the Time
So
Eater,
it's similar
who
to
can destroy
Dragon
multiple
Ball.
dimensions and
So what?
timelines in
So
seconds.
Sonic
At their
can go
peak,
Super
3
Saiyan.
super hedgehogs have even
Goku
fought
can go
Solaris,
Super Saiyan.
who nearly consumed
Jeez.
Sonic's entire
I
multiverse.
think really trying to
So
put
Super
us
Neo Metal Sonic
or
should
is he
be
just
just
Goku
as
and
powerful as any of them.
mentioned as a
No, he's
hedgehog? I
gotta be
don't know.
quick because all that
Now,
power
Sonic
only
cannot
lasts
class
a
the
short
younger
time.
The
classic
road to
Super
total
Sonic.
domination was nearly at an
By the
end.
time he
After
became
manipulating
Lamar
Sonic and
Sonic,
friends and
Shadow
copying their
Silver,
abilities, Metal
Copy
eventually
Wild
combined
Kids,
their
Neo
biodata
Metal,
with the
Monster.
mighty Egg
Sonic
Fleet
is
and
also
became
fighting.
Metal Overlord.
Entire Sonic
Complete with
universe.
missiles,
Okay.
giant crystal projectiles, and the strength
Oh,
to
yeah, I remember that.
supersonic heroes all by himself. Overlord is
Remember
all-time
this.
final boss
Yeah, I remember
material.
And he
Yeah, I
knew
remember
it.
playing
His
that-
ego
this
might as
game.
well have had its own health bar.
Wait.
Metal's drive to
Music
surpass his
control,
rival
Empire.
had morphed into the
Okay, so
delusional
full
belief that
planet Earth,
he was the
second
original,
son is the
and
power.
Sonic
Son
the
is the
loathsome
master.
copy.
That copy that
Eggman,
Metal had
Xeno,
finally
Battle Team,
outclassed.
Sonic,
All
Rogue,
the heroes
Dark
Metal had
Chaos,
gathered
all
had
at once,
to team up
Sonic,
to take him
Silver
down.
Shadow.
He may have stolen
Yeah.
their abilities,
So they
but
defeat
Metal
him.
never possessed the
Even
thing that
if
made
they
the
success
Sonic
and
heroes
must-
successful.
must-
Their friendship
Roughly
and
Metal
teamwork.
was
Aw,
Better
how
piece of
cute!
machines in the
Gag.
heavens. Another
Probably
what?
should have added some of those goddamn rails to the final boss fight, because it is impossible to land on those things.
No, it's not.
After getting trashed again, Eggman
does, right? No,
reprogrammed
it is
Metal to
not.
purge
You
any bits of
gotta go from
rebelliousness
one
from his
master
code.
to
Metal returned to being the
I played
Eggman
a lot of
Army's
Sonic
chief
games.
enforcer, always proving invaluable
I
as the
didn't
bad
really
doctor's
ask.
greatest creation,
But
now
yeah.
completely
didn't ask
obedient
you. I
once
already-
again.
I don't know,
Oh,
Wiz.
God.
Who knows what's really going on
That's
behind
it.
those glowing red eyes?
And
Maybe Metal
that is
is more
Dark
hunting than he
Age.
lets on, and
That's
is
how
only
much-
biding his time until he can take over again.
Maybe the most powerful thing that Metal copied was the ability to lie.
Yeah, you're lying to him, because he can't even beat.
Hey, I'm Chad, the voice of Boomstick. And if you don't believe me, well, what about now? That's what I thought. Look, the matchup is about to begin, and we can't wait for you to see it. But first, I want to tell you about a brand new thing coming to the Deathbattle store, and it's something you guys have been asking for. Matchup pitches. It's a way to meet with
Oh.
me and Ben, the creators of Deathbattle,
Matchup
and
pitches.
pitch us a matchup that
Cool.
you've been wanting to see. Any matchup, any way you like. We'd love to hear from you. This was originally a Kickstarter reward, but due to popular demand, we wanted to keep it going. A lot of episodes of Deathbattle that are currently being worked on are because of a pitch. So we want to give each pitch the time it needs, so quantity is limited, so you better act quick. Deathbattle pitches are available right now on deathbattle.gg. That's our website that's like a Patreon mixed with some other stuff. And if you're a website member, you get discounts on all
We're
of our
gonna
merch,
end up having to
including
skip
the
all
pitch
this
calls.
because-
While you're there, make sure you check out the Deathbattle Retro
Oh,
tee. It's a
nah,
shirt we made
just
like
let it
over a
play,
decade
'cause
ago. The
it's
first Deathbattle
important.
shirt
I found the file and recreated it, only on a much nicer shirt. So check that out while you're there. Anyway, let's get to the fight. I know you want to see it, and Boomstick wants to see one of these copycats get copycapped. So here we go, and remember, deathbattle.gg. We want to hear your pitches. Thanks.
All right, the combatants set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
Alright, let's see this fight.
It's time for a death battle!
Let's see who wins this, man. I'm gonna pick Cell to win. I'm gonna pick.
Salutations,
I was gonna
Dr.
pick
Robotnik.
I was gonna
Your
pick Cell to win.
reputation precedes you. Bring me your strongest fighter, or face... Then prepare to kneel before your master.
On the 8:30 no left.
Tell me,
Taking all these
does a
hits.
machine like yourself ever experience fear?
Not anymore. Oh man, what the? Oh crap, he's going like overboard. Oh god. This is broken. Ran into the oh yeah, ran into that big kill. Or the death thing, I would have to say. And he blew up the death thing.
Fool, you're dealing with the ultimate life form. I already possess his data. Observe. Chaos! Done.
Oh, I forgot you stopped coming. That doggone test kept coming.
It'll take more than that to kill me, puppet!
Dang.
I know. Now I know everything about you, insect.
Oh, wow, this one's getting expected. Man, you ain't got no chance, man. Don't feel salty. Don't be salty. Now we got ourselves Metal Sonic copies.
Soon, go. Don't you dare.
Oh, boy, you fucking... Wait, boss! You wanna copy? Copy that tri-beam? And he blew up the Cell Games arena. Uh-oh. Oh, crap.
I am not just the greatest warrior in the universe. I am all of them. If you are all of them, then so am I. I'll never lose to a machine like...
Ah, crap! Ah, man! Just let it coming!
I'll crush you.
Ah, man!
Now Metal's got all the powers of the Chaos Emeralds and the Z Fighters? Well, that world's fucked. Our bad.
Cell may have been one of the greatest threats in Dragon Ball Z, but Eggman's greatest creation ultimately proved too much for him. Let's break this down into 4 categories: strength, speed, abilities, and adaptation.
Do we have anything to
Who was the
say? Not if
strongest?
Sephiroth has
Well, it's
anything
no
to say
surprise
about
that
this.
any version of Cell was going to be way more powerful
Not
than
if
base
Sephiroth
Metal.
has anything
Or
to say
Neo.
about that.
Even just using the manga, blowing up a solar system is far beyond the level of power output Metal can match.
Without his stronger forms. With them, the power gap entirely reversed. Not only could Metal match Cell's solar system busting or scaling from Frieza, but he could surpass it with the universe-destroying power of the Emeralds.
But hang on, Wiz. Those Namekians said that Cell was strong enough to threaten a universe on his own.
They did, but they didn't specify how, and suggesting he could destroy it in one go, especially since it's only brought up theoretically and without any time frame.
Even being generous
Okay,
and
so-
assuming he could just blow it up, final bosses like
No, in the
Time Eater
heck-
and Solaris
so
can
either
destroy
Skeleton
the wider
Sword,
multiverse, and Super Neo Metal would scale to them. Metal
Galaxy
Sonic
Black
takes the
Ruffin them.
edge in strength.
So
And
that's
with
how I
Sonic
got
characters
that.
being known for their speed,
Wait,
you
hold
might
on.
think that was an easy win for Metal.
At his max speed in his super form, he should be comparable to entities like the Time Eater, who in Shadow Generations can destroy entire universes in
wait a
seconds.
minute.
By using the radius of the
Listen.
observable universe,
Hold
we
up,
can
wait a
estimate
minute.
the
That
Time
ain't
Eater's
even
destructive wave traveled at about 180 quadrillion times faster than light.
Certainly
Come on.
impressive, but let's compare that to Goku's flight from heaven to hell shortly after the Cell games, which covered roughly a universe in distance at approximately 180 quadrillion times faster than light.
Hey, just like Time Eater. The difference, though, was that Goku was in his base form, way slower than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan or Super Perfect Cell.
Factoring in
slower.
Super Saiyan multipliers, Super Perfect
come
Cell
on.
can move
Don't
upwards of
don't
100
melt
times
skeleton
faster than
characters
that.
with potentially
So
infinite
100 times
speeds
faster
and
than
color
Metal
in the
Sonic.
Black Doom.
Somehow,
However, that would
Cell takes
cancel
the
each
edge
other
in
out.
speed. You know, the thing Metal was
equal
designed
equal.
for.
Wasn't expecting that. Let's see if any of their abilities could tip the scales.
They shared many of the same powers, like telekinesis, force fields, and energy projectiles.
Well-
Of note though, Cell's regeneration was clearly superior, able to fully heal from a single cluster of microscopic cells.
On top of that, Cell's Saiyan genes would let him grow in power every time he almost died, and his Cell Juniors gave him the numbers advantage.
And considering Super Neo Metal had a time limit, Cell would have a big advantage in a battle of attrition.
But with Chaos Control, that became a lot tougher.
Cell and his juniors had no way to deal with Metal boosting his speed or stopping time, something that countered Cell's speed advantage and left him open. And with Silver's psychokinesis, or the Emerald spatial distortion, Metal could seriously impair Cell's healing.
So it helped that Cell could fall back on his martial arts abilities in a pinch.
Despite effectively being a newborn, Cell's genetic
this is
instincts
really
allowed him to
ridiculous.
best
I can
Earth's
believe
most
that,
skilled
man.
warriors back to back to back.
And
Metal may have
look,
copied
Brace,
Eggman's brains,
listen.
but he definitely isn't
I
as
just
good of a
don't
fighter.
understand how-
The Sonic
and-
heroes
and how
haven't
somebody
trained
like
like the
the
Z
Sonic
fighters,
is this
and Metal's
powerful
been beaten
against
by
Cell.
all of them a bunch of times.
That
So
penalty
all that in
for
mind,
results
abilities is roughly a wash.
Which leaves us with the one thing they're
This
both known
close.
for, their capability to evolve and become more powerful in response to their opponents, aka their adaptation.
And frankly, that's where this back and forth completely breaks. Because at the end of the day, Metal can copy Cell, but Cell can't absorb Metal.
Cell's ability to physically absorb an opponent is
Oh,
primarily against
that's
those who
probably the
match
problem.
or overpower.
Even if he
That
took
you can
Metal
claim
by
Focus Cell gain 17
he can absorb
infinite
fully
energies,
robots like
but he
Android
doesn't even
16.
affect
Cell was
Cell
only
against
able to
Goku
absorb
or the
Android
Chaos Emeralds also
18
get
because they were
an
primarily
instant super
organic.
They're
transformation.
actually more like cyborgs.
So that's
Only
the-
called
so that's how he
in
went.
English translation.
No.
Metal,
wait.
on the other
Cell
hand, could
cannot
copy a
endure
target's
guys like him.
biodata through only a few seconds of direct eyesight,
True.
something he could easily
again-
accomplish during
and
a
again-
time stop.
May not
And using
also
it on
be true
Cell
the
means
same
he
for
wouldn't
Sasuke.
just get Cell's powers,
he can
but the
copy
powers of
people.
all of the Z
He's short
Warriors
something.
too.
Remember, Metal's copying applies to abilities that fundamentally affect his own biology, like Espio's invincibility or Chaos's liquid body. Nothing Cell has would be off limits, especially given all of Cell's powers were genetically encoded in the first place.
So
Quite
this is how you
literally
want to get some
biodata.
win.
Cell's Saiyan power-ups? Copied. Cell's regeneration? Copied. Cell's key techniques? Believe it or not, copied.
Chaos Emeralds are described as being able to produce life energy, similar to Ki. So there's a precedent for
Furthermore,
him
the
being able to
life
replicate Cell's
energy
power
it
set.
results
And
in the
at
Chaos
this point,
Emeralds and
there's
vice
nothing
versa.
stopping
Sonic
Metal from,
these
say,
Chaos energy
stopping
and
time and using a
manipulate
Kamehameha
souls.
to
Just like
vaporize
Ki.
him at a cellular
Aw,
level.
man.
Just like Gohan did.
That's the
Able
bomb
to do
paper.
anything the Z fighters know how to do, but that's not gonna help him, because Metal can do anything Cell knows how to do. Range, isn't it?
Cell just doesn't have any options to retaliate that Metal wouldn't also possess, including any of his previous advantages. Metal's copy ability is just that overpowered.
Oh, I guess now I get why they called it Sonic CD.
And why's that?
Cell died. Where is he? You get it? CD? Where's where you go? Come on back. Next time on Death Battle.
Wait, who's next though? Huh? Wait a minute. Bakugo and who is this chick?
Subscribe and join as a
Race?
member to see more Death Battle. Thanks for
Oh,
watching.
it's that chick from Chainsaw Man. Actually, I only saw the first season. Wait, did you see the movie? No. Oh, but I have seen all of My Hero Academia and clearly to be honest with you, I think one opponent might have and overpower the both of them. Well, who you got a mind for one of these two? Well, this is what I was thinking. Bakugo can fight Nasu first, and Nasu can also go up against that same race chick from Chainsaw Man, which you chick from Chainsaw Man. Now she's all about fire, so I'm about to be spoiled. Wow, this was kind of crazy, man. And oh boy, let's just get this over with before I have to do more paperwork. Freaking ooh. Anyway, I'm probably about to score this already. Hey, so this is okay. Wait a minute. So this is the second Metal Sonic episode out here. Oh boy. So this is the thing. I seen Fan Battle's version, and this is Deathbattle's version. That version where Cell wins. This one Metal Sonic wins. Yes. Okay. So compared to their analysis versus this, I would have to say both of them represent them equally. Let's just decide. Both of them represent them equally. Okay? It's a 10 out of 10 for both because I think both represented fairly and equally. And both skill and logic was on par for the most part. However, this is where the actual. However, that's where the actual. But what about the source accuracy? Well, that's where it differs. In Fan Battle, they actually calculate Cell's perfect abilities that would give Metal Sonic the win. However, their scaling accuracy is quite different from the other ones. I think what Battle did on more in the terms have corrected that whole mess, which in their belief, in their eyes, it would have gotten it. So Fan Battle failed in that accuracy, which is the difference. But where Death Battle failed on that, they probably succeeded on this. So that would be another 10 out of 10. So 30-30 for me. That is very risky on this. So what about the actual battle? Well, and this is where we're gonna give Devil Artemis the most credit out of this one, since this is kind of his battle. So his last Death Battle before he retired. So compared to animation quality, while the sprite detail was all cool, and then the whole text audio was actually fine, I guess. But here, the animation quality for Artemis is a 10 out of 10. Because, not a 10. Because, and yeah, even how they rewritten the story is actually different too from the way they compared this. Yes. And even the choreography and pacing. We see a little text details they want to get given the visual aids on this. But the visuals here shown matches are far more different from that of the others. So compared to this one, it had better choreography and pacing than that of the Fan Battles. The character portrayal, while Devil Artemis voices his characters lightly, he's been voicing this for that guy for who knows how long, ever since he started YouTube. And I would like to see more of him do this mess. I bet you this probably might be, if there was like a video or like after Metal Sonic, which it's probably like where Kermit is really cute. So yeah, I think both of them. I don't know who voiced Metal Sonic, but it might have been Artemis. But I think Wes will carry the whole thing. So that's another 10 out of 10. I mean, the phone kill moment. This is where the comparisons differ. Cell's kill moment was the special beam to the throat, whereas Metal Sonic's kill moment was not only he one-shot this fool, he also obliterated the Dark Fool, and before he can regenerate, he went and cracked them in the palm of his hand. That right there was even more devastating. I was shocked. That's another 10 out of 10. And the Battle Sub Souls duels, now that's actually for 40. Now, let's compare the results to that of Solar Sonic. Now, the fan battle versions where they give them reasons that was on the solar system level that would have given them the edge. That is necessarily true, but Deathbattle had went into deep with the IDW and lore comics out here. So they explained it fairly well in terms of this, even the multi-solar system mode, but the Chaos Emeralds on a whole nother tier, and especially if all 7 of them can pull a con in it. So that's a 10 out of 10 in this case. The consistency and logic for both of these shows, I would give it a 7 for this, because they didn't even explain it too well. But the logic on Deathbattle's side, that is way better. I find it totally, and I actually find it a lot more simpler if they actually did, talked about it, because they never explained in Fan Battle that he can actually destroy him, but can he actually suck him out? No, he can't. He can suck all the Android 18s, 17, 18s if they're persons. I'm sorry, that's just Android 17s and 18s, my bad. 18s, we're talking Cammy and freaking memory, but okay, I'm sorry. Now, he probably might do the same thing with Power, because he's also would adapt with this. So he can't really adapt metal. He can't even suck up metal. He can suck up the androids, but he can't suck up metal. Then again, when it comes to Seth, though, that's a different story. He may be able to not only blast on freaking Seth, he might even suck him up and knit up one with his own entire Tungeon engine too. He can probably do that. Right. So he's kind of like not made of metal, but he isn't. And if he can't, he can just straight out blast him. Anyway, yeah. So the consistency, and the logic consistency, and they just giving the decisive. Now the decisiveness, compared to Fan Battle's part, they kind of decided wrong on this part. Not Death Battle. They were really to make sure that they were researching hard on this one. They were cooking gas with this one. I'll say the results are gas on this one. And that's another 30. That's another 30 for 30. So, now I think the music for this one, I never really checked it out. Hold up. Now the music for this one, let me go check it out. Now the music for this one is quite a little bit simple. What the hell? Where did it go? What the hell? Where did it freaking go? Where did it freaking go? Okay. Okay, where did it freaking go? Alright, so the actual music here. So along with the credits, yes, that one miss. Oh, he played both Saw and Metal Sonic. Right. Metal SL was the I think we kinda liked it, that one. Metal SL combines like the theme songs of both Metal Sonic and SL, but I guess it was more of a rock theme. And I think the creator of that track, if I'm not mistaken, the creator of that track is composed by Therewolf Media. So yeah, now it's a Therewolf Media production. I think the production and the sound quality. I think the production and the sound design made it all menacing as heck, as solid as well, though. Even the presentation and the editing, that is actually metal. I mean, that's within this fight by itself, though. Okay? Now, as far as rewatchability, memorability, I think I could never. I think I might have to rewatch it as many times, and it could be as memorable as it actually is, because you can never forget. When you hear Metal Cells, none of this, it's gonna get crazy. Of course, when I make beats like this, it's gonna be completely different. It's gonna be completely different because the perfect thing for someone said is the perfect copyist. And besides, so 40 for 40 on this one. Okay, so the perfect copyist. So this will be the match. So this will be the match score 30. And we scored it. So I guess in this case, they scored as high as, yes. Okay, the battle was crazy, and this is the score, and the results in the music. Another 30. So they scored on the highest one. They even scored. And they scored a order 40 comparable to this one. So, what's the actual score of this one? Over 9,000? No, it's 140. So, dang. 140 out of 140. 40. So, that's it. So as far as with that, 140 is 140 out of 140. So clearly, overall, where I rank it at would probably be an S. Yes. I wonder what you think it's an S. I mean, clearly they checked all the check boxes. But wow, this is my thing. It's only S. It's an S rank matchup, but not a God tier matchup. And I say God tier because here's the thing. You know, nothing would be as memorable as freaking. You can't really completely complain that this was kind of like an actual matchup that was hinted at for years. And I would say this would be the best Devil Artemis matchup to set off with an S rank. However, it cannot surpass that of Ash vs. Yuki. So, and even though it's just really a fan battle comparison, had to be redone. So basically, let's think about this. This is a fan battle, which is basically Death Battle Round 1. This one is Death Battle Round 2. And this is where we come to the conclusion that this is actually around. Now, if our creators decide to give some the freezer treatment and have them gain more newer abilities, maybe we will be the ones to do this match ourselves. And this time, I think Metal Sonic is going to end up being completely cooked. He may not be with a short battle. Doesn't necessarily mean he might end up being so powerful that he might become killed. He may even probably the beast going ability. But then they have to prioritize Z and the IDW comics out here. So yeah, after several years, Metal Sonic finally gets a win. Which means I have to do a lot of freaking paperwork around here. Well, yeah. But at least it was almost God tier rank, the whole entire production scene, everything. Devil Artemis put out his hardest on that day, but yeah, it's enough to actually give them an S rank, obviously, and for obvious reasons. And for obvious reasons, that's probably where it's gonna most likely go to. Oh boy, here it is. And for obvious reasons, that's where we're gonna put Cell at. And Cell goes right above Cell versus Mel Sun goes right next to no. Yep, right behind. You know what? Right behind Eggman and Bowser here, as it always has been. But it'll never reach the God tier rank. Trust me, it's never gonna reach the God tier rank. I mean, and besides, this was a matchup that was kind of hinted at for years. Even Van Battle has it. Plus, because I kind of think, yeah. Plus, and let me say something. I kind of think Ash vs. Yugi is pretty much too much of a memorable, nostalgic feel. This one feels like a battle of copyists that was sitting at, and it happens to be Devil Artist's last fight. It's not gonna really make the God tier cut, but at least it kind of made S rank. So, as it stands, Ash vs. Yugi is still God tier in my ear, but at least it came quite close. Oh man, I must have moved him again. No, next to him, and right between freaking Ruby and Maka here. Yeah. Just you wait, Metal Sonic, and don't you dare try and copy. I'll be even Ruby or Maka. Darn stupid freaking robot. Wait till Sephiroth gets a hold. Let's just chill. Breifs, let's just freaking chill, okay? Well, so that being said, it was unfortunate. What happened to Sal, but at least his master gets his ZT rank. And congrats to Metal Sonic for branching out and finally getting a win for sure. I mean, who would have thought that he had more to work with on that? Maybe one day he might have to face off against Zero and it might be trouble. Nah, I'd rather Sephiroth mark this fool. No, I'd rather Sephiroth mark the fool. Yeah. Then again, I guess Zero might be next on his hit list. I guess. Who knows? Alright, so with that being said, this has been another episode of the Best Deathbattle here. This is OG the Boot, and I'm Breifs. We'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully, the next episode of Sonya Blade versus Orchid in the UCBL when it's ready. Till then, we're out. Bye.